Be me, Christina, 26, been with Jake for 2 years now. We live together in this college town apartment. I'm finishing my sociology masters. He works as a physical therapist at some sports clinic downtown. I've always been really clear about needing my independence. Like, from day one, I told Jake, I'm not one of those girls who loses herself in a relationship. I have my thesis on gender dynamics in modern dating. Yeah, I know, ironic. I'm a teaching assistant, and I'm involved with this activist group that meets twice a week. My life doesn't revolve around a guy, period. When we first started dating, Jake was honestly kind of clingy, always suggesting date nights, asking if I wanted to come watch him and his buddy Dylan work on motorcycles at Dylan's garage, inviting me to lake weekends with the guys. I went a few times early on, supportive girlfriend stuff. But honestly, sitting in a greasy garage watching dudes tinker with carburetors while they grunt at each other isn't exactly my idea of quality time. And the lake trips were just them, fishing and drinking beer and talking about sports and engines. Boring. So I started saying no. Around 8 months in, I had to actually sit Jake down for a conversation. Told him straight up that the constant invitations felt like pressure, that I needed space to breathe, that independence was important to me. I told him neediness isn't attractive, because my friend Hannah had just told me about some study on that. Also told him his hobbies were kind of juvenile, like, we're almost 30, time to grow up. Jake took it pretty well, actually. Said he understood, said he'd give me room. And he did. Maybe too well. See, I started cancelling plans more after that. Thesis deadlines, activist meetings, self-care nights with Hannah. Jake would suggest dinner and I'd be like, can't, working on my literature review. He'd mention a new restaurant and I'd say, maybe next week. And then next week, I'd have something else. Sometimes I'd just cancel because I didn't feel like it. I mean, that's what independence means, right? Not having to explain yourself. After a while, he just stopped asking. Started saying yes to more garage time with Dylan instead. Started planning camping trips and fishing weekends with the guys, Marcus, Steve, Dylan, without even running them by me first. Which, fine. That's what I wanted, right? Space. But lately, it's been kind of excessive. He's at Dylan's garage 4 nights a week now. Comes home smelling like motor oil and looking weirdly energized, like he's having more fun there than here. Meanwhile, I'm drowning in thesis revisions because my advisor's been tearing my work apart, and I actually need Jake around to, support me. That's what boyfriends are supposed to do. Tonight really drove it home. I'm sitting on our couch, well, it's mostly my couch at this point, covered in my books and papers and laptop, watching Jake pack his fishing gear. He's going on some weekend trip with the guys. Leaving tomorrow morning, won't be back until Sunday night. So you're just going, I say, looking up from my laptop. Yeah, Jake says, carefully organizing his tackle box. Mentioned it last week. I don't remember that, but whatever. I might have needed you this weekend. He pauses, looks at me. For what? I can't actually articulate an answer. I just have this feeling like he should be here, available, in case something comes up. I don't know, just stuff. Thesis stuff. Emotional support. You'll be fine, he says, not unkindly. You always are. There's something about the way he says it, like he's stating a fact, not trying to be reassuring, that pisses me off. Must be nice, I say. Just dropping everything to play in the woods with your friends while I'm here drowning in work. Jake stops packing, looks at me for a long moment. You told me you needed space. That my wanting to spend time with you was suffocating. That was different, I snap. How? I don't answer. Just go back to my laptop. He finishes packing in silence, zips up his bag. I'm heading out early tomorrow, so I probably won't see you before I go. Whatever, I say, not looking up from my screen. You gonna be okay? Why wouldn't I be? It's not like I need you or anything. He doesn't answer that. Just says goodnight and goes to bed. I text Hannah. Jake's ditching me again for his bros. She responds immediately. Ugh, men? They're all emotionally stunted, I swear. That makes me feel a little better. Our apartment's a mess, actually. Well, my half is. My stuff is everywhere. Books, papers, half-empty coffee mugs, my laptop on the coffee table surrounded by printed journal articles. Jake's stuff is minimal, contained to his corner of the bedroom and his small desk by the window. He's always been annoyingly neat like that. I stay up late working on my thesis, telling myself I'm glad he's going because I need the quiet to focus anyway. I don't need him here. I've been clear about that from the start. I just wish he'd, I don't know, seem a little more reluctant to leave maybe? Like he actually cared? Jake comes home. Sunday night, around 8. I've been stewing all weekend. See, my thesis advisor absolutely destroyed my latest draft on Friday. Sent me an email that basically implied I've learned nothing in 2 years, and I wanted Jake around to vent to. But his phone was barely charged all weekend, he was completely unreachable, and I had to just sit with it alone. Well, not alone. I called Hannah, but she was at some birthday thing and couldn't really talk. So when Jake walks in, looking relaxed and happy, smelling like campfire, and wearing this stupid contented smile, I'm already pissed. Hey, he says, dropping his bag. How was your weekend? Terrible, I say from the couch. Not that you'd care. What happened? My advisor ripped my thesis apart, but you wouldn't know that because you were off playing in the woods. He walks over, sits in the chair across from me. I'm sorry. That sucks. Want to talk about it? No, you want to talk? Little late for that. Jake's quiet for a moment. Christina, I asked if you'd be okay. You said you didn't need me. I shouldn't have to ask you to be available. You should just know. How am I supposed to know if you don't tell me? I can't explain it. There just is a way. He should want to be around me, but not in an annoying way. He should be available when I need him, but not suffocating when I don't. You're never home anymore, I say. 4 nights a week at Dylan's, now these weekend trips. I feel like I'm single. You told me, multiple times, that I was being too available, that I needed to give you space, that my wanting couple time was unattractive. That was about you being clingy, I snap, not about you abandoning me. What's the difference? You've been at Hannah's or activist meetings like 5 nights a week for the past 6 months, Jake says, his voice still calm. I don't complain about that. That's different, I say. My stuff is important. My thesis matters. The activist work is meaningful. I'm making a difference. You're just playing with cars. Something flickers in his expression. Right. What? You're mad now? No, he says. I'm tired. I'm going to shower and head to Dylan's for a bit. He needed help with something. Are you kidding me? I stand up. You just got back. Dylan's going through a divorce. He needs support. And I don't? I just told you my advisor destroyed my work. You also just told me you don't need me. That's not... You're twisting my words. Jake heads to the bathroom without responding. 20 minutes later, he's leaving, and I'm so angry I can barely breathe. I text Hannah. He literally just got back, and he's already going to Dylan's. Unbelievable. Hannah. Wow. His priorities are so messed up. Dylan's probably just as immature. That validates me enough that I do something probably stupid. I drive to Riverside Brewery. That's where I know they go after garage time. Jake mentioned it once. It's this craft beer place downtown. Exposed brick, string lights, the whole aesthetic. I walk in around 9:30, spot them immediately at a corner table. Jake, Dylan, Marcus, Steve. They're laughing about something, looking loose and comfortable. Like Jake's having the time of his life without me. Jake sees me. His expression shifts, definite annoyance. I walk over, trying to seem casual. Hey, thought I'd surprise you. The laughter dies instantly. Dylan and Marcus exchange glances. Steve takes a long drink of his beer. Hey, Jake says flatly. What's up? Nothing, just... I pull up a chair uninvited, squeeze in next to Jake. Wanted to see what you guys were up to. You know, since apparently this is more important than being home with me." Dead silence. "Just hanging out," Marcus says carefully. "Right," I say. "Must be nice having time to just hang out while some of us are actually dealing with real-life problems." Dylan, who's usually friendly to me, goes still. "Some of us are dealing with real problems, Christina." "I didn't mean, I just meant work stuff, you know? Adult responsibilities." "My wife just left me," Dylan says quietly. "That real enough for you?" My face heats up. "That's not what I—" Jake stands up. "Let's go outside." "But I just got here." "Now." His voice is hard. Outside on the sidewalk, I try to defend myself. "I was just trying to be part of your life." "You never invite me anymore." "You made it very clear you don't want to be part of this," Jake says. "You called my friends man-children. You said our hobbies were juvenile. You've turned down every invitation for a year and a half." "Because it's boring, Jake. Sorry I don't find carburetors fascinating." "Then why are you here?" "Because you ditched me the second you got home to come here." Dylan's wife left him. He's depressed. He needs support. I'm being a good friend. "And what about being a good boyfriend?" Jake looks at me for a long moment. "I tried that for a year. You told me I was being too available, too needy, too focused on us. So I stopped." "Well, maybe you stopped too much." "You can't have it both ways, Christina." He goes back inside. I stand there on the sidewalk, shaking with anger, watching through the window as his friends lean in and clearly talk about me. I drive home, hands tight on the wheel, text Hannah the whole story. She responds, "They sound toxic TBH. Jake needs to grow up and prioritize his actual relationship." I screenshot it and almost send it to Jake, but don't. Week later, Tuesday night. Jake's making dinner, chicken stir-fry, something simple, and casually mentions he's going camping this weekend. This weekend, I look up from my laptop. Yeah, Thursday morning through Sunday night. We planned it last month. "You didn't ask me." He plates the food. "I told you?" You said, "Cool," and went back to reading. I don't remember that, but it sounds like something I'd do when I'm deep in thesis mode. Still. Well, I'm telling you now I'm not okay with it. Jake brings the plates over. "What? 3 days? That's excessive. What if I need you?" "For what?" "I don't know. That's not the point. The point is, you should want to be here." "Christina." He sounds tired. "We've been over this." "No. You've decided we're over it. I don't remember agreeing." He just starts eating. "The real explosion comes on Thursday. My parents are having their 30th anniversary dinner next Saturday. Big family thing. My aunts, cousins, the whole deal. My mum's been planning it for months, and obviously Jake needs to be there. I mention it to Jake Thursday morning before he leaves for the camping trip. "Oh," he says, loading his truck. "I can't make that." "What do you mean you can't make it?" "I told Dylan I'd help him rebuild his engine." Next Saturday, all day. He took off work, ordered all the parts. "Are you serious right now?" I feel my face getting hot. "You're choosing Dylan over my family." Jake stops, turns to face me. "You're telling me about this 6 days before. Dylan asked me 3 weeks ago." "It's my parents' anniversary, Jake." "Greasy freaking motor parts can wait." I made a commitment. "And you don't have a commitment to me? To my family?" His jaw tightens. "You skipped my mom's birthday dinner to go to that protest. That was important. There were important issues. And you skipped my sister's wedding shower because you had book club. We were discussing feminist literature. It was crucial. And last month, you cancelled the anniversary dinner I planned for US because Hannah had a crisis that turned out to be her being sad about some guy. She needed me. So does Dylan," Jake says, his voice harder than I've heard it. "His wife just left him. He's barely sleeping. He's depressed. I'm not bailing on him." "So Dylan's more important than me," I say. "Good to know where I stand." Jake looks at me for a long moment. "Right now?" "Yeah. He actually needs me. You just want me available in case you decide you need me. Screw you, I say. He gets in his truck and drives away. I'm shaking. I'm so angry. Call my mom immediately, expecting sympathy. Jake can't come to the dinner, I tell her. He's helping his friend with the car. Oh, Mom says. Well, that's kind of him. Dylan's the one going through the divorce, right? Poor thing. Jake talks about him sometimes. I freeze. Jake? Talks to you? Well, yes, sweetie. He calls every few weeks to check in. Didn't you know? I didn't. I feel weirdly betrayed, like Jake has this whole relationship with my mom I don't know about. When does he call you? Oh, just to chat. See how Dad and I are doing? He's very thoughtful. Right, I say tightly. Well, he won't be at the dinner. That's all right, dear. Family will understand, but I don't want them to understand. I want them on my side. The anniversary dinner is worse than I imagined. I show up solo. My Aunt Linda asks where Jake is within 5 minutes. He's helping a friend with a car, I say, trying to make it sound bad. Oh, Dylan, Aunt Linda brightens. The divorce, right? How awful. Well, good for Jake for being there. That's exactly the kind of man you want, loyal. My cousin Emily chimes in. God, I wish Marcus was more like that. He dropped his best friend the second we got serious. It's actually kind of sad. Jake should be here, I say. It's a family event. Aunt Linda gives me this look. Sweetie, you know Jake? He's probably been planning this for weeks. He's not the type to bail on people. He's bailing on US. Is he? Mom says gently. Or did we not give him much notice? I stare at her. Whose side are you on? There are no sides, honey, Mom says, but she's clearly Team Jake. I drink too much wine and leave early. Text Hannah. My family's taken his side. They think he's some hero for ditching us. Hannah. They just don't get modern relationships. Old people are stuck in traditional gender roles. I want to believe her. But even I'm starting to wonder if maybe I'm wrong. Number. I push the thought away. Jake's the one being unreasonable. I decide I need to show Jake what he's missing. My social circle is better, more intellectual, more evolved than his garage bros. So I organize a game night. Couples game night. I invite my friends, Hannah, my friend Priya and her boyfriend Amit, and Casey and Morgan from my activist group. When I tell Jake about it Wednesday, he says, Sure. Can I invite Dylan? Why would you invite Dylan to couples game night? Because his wife just left him and he probably shouldn't be alone. I want to say no, but I can't without sounding terrible. Fine, but this is my thing. Friday night, I've set everything up. Charcuterie, wine, string lights, games ready. Dylan shows up with Jake, looking exhausted. He thanks me for including him. The first hour is okay. Then Priya starts. It's so refreshing being around couples who understand emotional labor distribution. Casey nods. Deconstructing traditional masculinity is so important. Dylan gets quieter. We play cards against humanity. Dylan's humor is dark. Divorce jokes, bitter sarcasm. My friends react with tight smiles. Then Dylan plays a dark card about lawyers and laughs bitterly. Morgan recoils. That's kind of an inappropriate way to process trauma. Dead silence. Jake stands. We're leaving. The game's not done. I start. Dylan, let's go. Jake's voice is ice. They leave. My friends immediately dissect it. Was it something we said? Some people aren't emotionally ready. Hannah. Men and their feelings. Classic. I agree outwardly, but something feels wrong. Tuesday. I decide to do something nice. Bring Jake lunch at work. I show up at his clinic at 12:30 with Thai food. The receptionist, Kara, says he's in the break room. I walk in. Jake's with co-workers, eating meal prep, laughing. He sees me, the laugh dies. Hey, he says. What's up? I hold up the bag. Brought your lunch. Oh, he points to his Tupperware. I already ate. His co-workers excuse themselves. I was trying to do something nice, I say. You could have texted first. I wanted to surprise you. Christina. He looks exhausted. I'm at work. I leave, humiliated. Kara gives me this knowing look. I meet Hannah for coffee. Explain everything. Hannah stirs her latte. Good for you for not letting him prioritize his bros. You deserve someone who makes you the center of their world. I don't need to be the center. Yes, you do, Hannah interrupts. That's what relationships are. If he can't handle an independent woman who also wants attention, that's his problem. I nod, but the validation feels hollow. That night, I journal. I'm trying so hard and Jake doesn't see it. Maybe he's not mature enough for someone who has her own life. If he can't appreciate me wanting both independence and connection, that's on him. I don't write about cancelling on him for 2 years, or calling his hobbies stupid, or pushing him away constantly. I'm the victim here. Saturday afternoon, Jake's at the garage all day. I'm reading my journal entries, getting more convinced I'm right. Screw it. I'm going to Dylan's garage. I drive there. Small house, working class neighborhood. Garage door open. I walk up, hear voices, step inside. They're not working. They're sitting on old furniture, beers in hand. Dylan's talking. Her lawyer sent the paperwork on our anniversary. Marcus. That's messed up. Steve. You doing okay? Dylan. Jake's been keeping me sane. Honestly? Jake notices me. His whole body tenses. Christina, what are you doing here? I wanted to see what you actually do here. It's not some man cave. It's just friends, supporting each other. Dylan speaks. Jake talks about you a lot. Does he? Yeah, he cares about you. We keep telling him he should probably... He stops. Should what? Nobody answers. But I know. They think he should leave me. Jake, I say, throat tight, can we talk outside? In the driveway, I try to start an argument. What do you actually want, Christina? I want you to care about us. I did care, he says quietly. For 2 years I cared while you told me I was too available, too interested in us, too focused on you. So I built a life with other support. And now you're mad I did what you asked. You cancelled on me constantly. You called my hobbies stupid. You said I was needy, so I stopped. But I didn't mean permanently. Then what did you mean? I can't answer. These guys let me show up for them. They don't criticize me. They just appreciate me. And I don't. I don't think you know what you want me to be. He's staying at Dylan's tonight. Needs space. Doesn't break up with me. Just leaves. I drive home, crying. Journal. Jake doesn't understand modern relationships. He wants someone without her own life. I've been clear about needing independence and he's punishing me for it. Maybe he's not mature enough. My hand shakes. I think about Dylan saying Jake keeps him sane. About Mom saying Jake calls to check in. About how he looks happier without me. I write, I deserve someone who can handle my complexity. Phone buzzes. Hannah. How'd it go? Did you tell him off? I stare at it. Don't respond. Close my journal. The last line stares up. I deserve someone who can handle my complexity. I almost believe it. Almost.